You're listening to On the Road, a podcast powered by Autocar.
Because drive time, I get quite a few questions about drive time. Some people don't understand how drive time works. The 10-hour limit is on trip, so it's from the time you get allocated to pick up to drop off. And some people might see that on some of my videos I've done quite long hours, 14-hour shifts. That's not constant driving. And also I always make sure that I stop for a coffee. I go for a comfort break. And it's very important that you do that. You know, when you see on my channel that I've done 14 hours, that's not me doing 14 hours bang every job. Mm-hmm. That would be too dangerous. You know, and if you do have an accident and they do look back at your record, then you've got to show that you've logged off for half an hour and gone for a break. You know, you got to show that you've been a bit more responsible. I've said in my videos that if I feel tired, regardless of how much I've earned, I go home because it's just too dangerous.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, yeah, safety is obviously a huge thing, and
because even though there's a 10-hour limit, that can stretch out to 14, 15 hours. You know, on some days if it's been a bit quiet. On good days, I mean, you want to be doing a 10-hour because you know if you've done your 10 hours limit in 10 hours, you've had a good day.
You've had a very good day.
You've had a very good day. You know, so it's very important that people do take breaks.
Do you guys know of any stories of people that maybe took it a little bit too far, overworked, and?
No, not recently. But in the past, I mean, I've been on the motorway working back in the day when you had to do airports and you'd run back to the base. Like Gig Guy was saying, you work for a base company. You know, you run back, try and get the next job. You're trying to earn a certain amount of money. You've been up all night, and your head's ducking down. You know, but I'm 52 now, so I'm very conscious about making sure that I'm on the road. You got to be responsible because at the end of the day, you got other people's lives in your hands, and everything nowadays is recorded. Like we got Autocar, we got their CCTV in the car. I got my own CCTV that I use as my dash cam in the car. Everything's recorded. There's so many cameras around. You've got to be responsible. You know, there's no point trying to do 24-hour shifts. It's just not. You know, at the moment there was chat about that. You could do one app and then do another app. You know, but if the police find out you're doing that sort of stuff, you know, you're just putting yourself into danger and into criminal retaliation from the police.
This is something that actually we kind of, myself and Autocar and Gig Guy London touched on in the past regarding kind of taking a break every couple of hours, having a coffee, having some water and keeping hydrated. And it's something that maybe because drivers might be chasing the money so much, this might become not a priority for them at the time. So I think
one of the things for drivers that's really annoying is finding the toilet.
Yeah. And there's a few apps out for that though. There is a few out there.
You don't need that. I just think there's so many McDonald's around. That's what I do. I just jump into McDonald's and you just
hopefully no one from McDonald's is listening to this. Well, unless you're buying food, that is. Then that's fine.
Well, I always buy coffee.
Yeah, great coffee. Yeah. Pretty cheap as well.
That's my classic.
After a 6 cup, it's free. So but like I say, pop into McDonald's. You can use the loo, and that's your opportunity to have a break. But to find a loo during the day can be difficult, but you hear stories of people using bottles and stuff like that. I mean, I would never do that. I don't understand people doing that.
No, there's a bit of bad rep in the past with some Uber partners at Heathrow, which I think was a bit of an issue a few years ago. Not so much anymore, because obviously there's the kind of the PCO car park, as we call it, at Heathrow, which has kind of stopped that issue from happening. So it's good to see that the operators are trying to, and the government regulations are getting on board and trying to kind of fix these issues so that residents aren't complaining about the private hire industry.
The great thing that Uber has done there is the rematch. I love the rematch at the airport. I mean, I've even in my old days at Addison Lee, I never used to go and sit and park at Heathrow. It's just too much time wasting. Whereas now you get a job out. I don't know about you, but 9 times out of 10 I'm getting a rematch back, which is great.
Yeah, high utilisation rates. That's exactly what it's all about.
Prior to Uber introducing the rematches, I would not wait at the airport. If I did drop off, I'll be out at the airport straight away and to the nearest busy town or busy place and looking for my next job. But obviously, dropping off at the major airports now, there's usually a possibility of a rematch. Depending on what time you go, you're more likely to get them. Usually after 7 a.m, you can get yourself a rematch at the major airports. But if you don't get one, some drivers choose to sit around and wait, and others choose to move to past as new. But it's nice to have that option to kind of double up your money if you get an airport job.
Why are those drivers at 3 o'clock in the morning sitting at Heathrow?
I'll go ask them.
No idea.
Nothing's stopping you.